Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's how to watch guide for the Summer Nations series, which really gets underway in all earnest this weekend. And the good news is there are a range of broadcasts which will be showing all the action throughout the rest of the month. Lots and lots of cool sport on. In terms of the Summer Nations, this weekend we have got Scotland versus France, Wales versus England, Ireland versus Italy. Next weekend, England versus Wales. The box play against Wales, and it'll be on. So that'll be part of the Summer Nation series, as well as New Zealand games as well. So there's a whole bunch of games that's going to be part of the Summer Nation series. It's basically the Autumn Nation series, which is what the end of year tour has become, but now in August as a Rugby World Cup warm-up schedule. And the big question is, how can I watch all the action? Right, well, the good news is that, first of all, there are free-to-air broadcasters, and you can watch the entire week or month's coverage live on Amazon Prime with a free trial. However, these are only available for those in the UK or in Ireland. So if you're outside those territories, you can still use the same method I'm about to show you, but you're going to have to use a VPN. Now, we recommend using either ExpressVPN or else Bitdefender over there, which are one of our partners. They've got a very good functional VPN, which works very nicely. And basically what you're going to do, I'm going to show you how to use ExpressVPN. So first things first, you're going to go down into the description below. You're going to download your VPN. I'm going to show you what ExpressVPN looks like. And once you install, it's going to look something like that. You're going to go to these three little dots over here. That's going to bring up a bunch of locations. And you're going to go and select the UK. Once that is available, you're then going to go to I'm going to recommend using Amazon Prime because every single game is on there and you can get a free 30-day trial. So you're then going to go to Amazon Prime, amazon.co.uk, and then the Prime address there. And because you're connected through the VPN, it basically geolocates your device to make it seem as if you're in the UK. As a result, you can get access to the Prime thing. And there it is, these are all the Autumn Nations games and stuff like that. If I go to Scotland versus France, you'll see they're included with Prime. It goes live tomorrow. The nice thing about Prime is it's got brilliant panels. It's got really good coverage. It's got different languages, for example. And if you scroll over here, you can see there's the Wales versus that game, as well as in Welsh language. We keep going over here. There's just so many various games across the rest of the month, which is going to be really, really cool. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Certain games will be on RTE, which is a free-to-air broadcaster. So we'll be doing specific videos on those games, showing you how to watch. But apart from that, get yourself an Amazon Prime free trial. Get yourself a VPN so you can access it and watch all the action live throughout the rest of the month. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Apart from that, smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and I will see you guys next time. Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's preview, France versus Scotland. And I tell you what, we are in for an absolute cracker this weekend because France have brought out the big guns following their loss to Scotland last weekend at Murrayfield, while Scotland have gone with a couple of changes, but have still sort of kept the core of the squad relatively the same. And they're now looking for their third win on the bounce, actually, are Scotland, as they sort of try and build momentum. We are literally, tomorrow will mark 4 weeks away from the start of the Rugby World Cup, and it is now or never really when it comes to wrapping up preparations, getting things right and getting yourself into the best form, momentum, mental point of view, just getting yourself right for the World Cup. And this weekend will be very interesting to see sort of the match sharpness of this French team, which is basically the entire team almost been changed, and all the big players have been brought back in. Scotland made a couple of changes, but generally, as I said, with the core of the team hasn't remained the same, and so they'll be looking to sort of continue that momentum that they are kind of building at the moment. Before we look at the two sides, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We'll be live for this game. It starts at 9 o'clock on Saturday evening. We'll also be live for England versus Wales. That gets underway at 6:30. So 2 games this weekend before we then have 2 very busy weekends and then into the World Cup. In terms of the two sides, start with the French side, which are the home side this weekend. And as you can see, names like Antoine Dupont is back and he will captain the side. If you look at the front row, they're still by Julien Marchand, Dorian Aldegheri. It's a very strong front row. Still by quality loose here. Julien Marchand, one of the best hookers in the world at the moment. And that is a very large front row as well. Cameron Wacky has a new lock partner in Tibal Flamen, who continues to sort of take to international rugby like a duck to water. He's having an absolute stormer every single time he sort of puts on a French shirt, and a very cool and fun player to watch as well. Paul Duhaime is one of the few players who actually kept a spot last week. He has 2 new back row partners in Charles Ulavani comes in, as well as Mr. Fantastic Gregory Eldred, who's just energy on more energy. Very important player for France, gets around the park so well. And usually when France have these massive big performances, he's often at the center of it. As are these two. Antoine Dupont remain Intermag back in and will sort of reignite that half-back pairing. The two wings will be Gavin Veer and Dane Pinot, who for me could very well be the top try scorer in the Rugby World Cup. I think definitely probably one of the favourites to potentially be a top try scorer. And then the Jonathan Dante, Gail Fiku partnership in the centres is back as well. And then Mr. Baller himself, Thomas Ramos, at 15. What an incredibly gifted rugby player he is. The stuff that him and Romain Intermac do on a rugby field are just so nonchalant, aren't they? It's actually almost like rude how almost like unserious they are when it comes to some of the stuff they do. But it comes off. It comes off most of the time. Then off the bench, Pierre Boucheret, who did start last weekend, drops down to the bench, as does Jean-Baptiste Gross. We got Antonio covering tight head there. You then got Florian Verhage, Bastien Chaleroux, and Seko Makalu in a 6-2 split. Maxime Luchu in at scrum half replacement, and then Louis Bilbiawe as the utility back off the bench. It's a very good French side. The Scottish side that will be trying to stop them looks a little something like this. Jamie Ritchie, returns to the side and will captain Scotland. There's also force replacement. Xander Ferguson has been issued a 3-week ban following his incident last week. And as a result, VPNL is promoted to the front row. So it's Piers Kuhlman, George Turner, VPNL in the front row, with the ever-present Richie Gray and Grant Gilchrist behind them. The loose chair is a new look loose chair of Jamie Ritchie, Rory Dart, and Jack Dempsey. Eddie Price returns to the fold and will start in the number 9 jersey. He'll partner, vice captain rather than captain, Finn Russell at 10. Dylan van der Merwe, Carl Steyn, the two wings. Hugh Bellotta will continue to hoop in Sione Tuipulotu, and Hugh Jones in the centres there. Blair Kinghorn at full back. Off the bench, Stuart McInerney, nice player. Roy Sutherland, Javan Sebastian, Scott Cummings, Sam Skinner, Josh Bayless, George Horn, and Ollie Smith. I'm very interested to see how this Scottish side go in the World Cup, because they've got some match winners across them, and they're a side that have been together for quite a while, and because they played together for such a long time, there's a lot of trust, I think, in what they're doing, and in the coaching staff as well. So I do think they are a side who could be the kind of dark horses to cause an upset or two, which is worrying considering the fact that they're in the pool with Box, for example, as well as Ireland. But I think they're going to be very competitive come the World Cup, and very much going to make sure that the likes of Ireland and South Africa have to be at their absolute best throughout that group stage if they are to progress. So, yeah, and in terms of an asset test on exactly where they are, this is the French side you want to be playing against, isn't it? You know, it's very nice to get a victory against France, but people always sort of say, oh, it's a bit of an asterisk next to it because it was so rotated. But this is now France at their strongest, and Scotland probably close to their strongest as well. So it'll be very cool to see how these two teams go about their business this weekend and really get an accurate idea of where they are going into the World Cup. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen. I'll chat to you soon. Right, and we are back. Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for game number 2. Strap in, get ready, and let's hope that this game has even half the drama of the last game. It is France taking on Scotland, and as usual, I mean, that is a very big flag. They've got a flag the size of the field out here. No, not quite the size of the field. The length of the field. The French do it right when it comes to the spectaculars of live rugby. But yes, anyway, welcome to the stream. We have got, as I said, France versus Scotland. We just saw a very entertaining game. Not a great game of rugby. In fact, pretty dreadful. So I'm pretty sure the quality of rugby will be significantly better in this game. But it was an interesting game with regards to just everything going wrong at all times in the last. So, as I said, in terms of the drama, from a drama factor, it was great. Let's see more of that, hopefully. Yeah, so welcome to the stream. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And make sure you go and down in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And who's sporting? I'm sporting. I'd like to see Scotland win. I'm a big Scotland fan. I like Scotland. And more to the point, with France going to the World Cup as one of the favourites, it would be nice to see them lose 2 in a row and hopefully get people to start just pretend they're panicking, really. Even though they won't. But we can pretend that they are. We've got the anthems underway. And then we will have action. France in white, Scotland in blue. And we'll go to the teams in just a bit. Scotland. And they really shouldn't put a mic on the poor lads when they sing. Like these guys are rugby players. They're not singers. Let's not put them under that microscope. And I just don't see. I just don't think it's fair. I mean, it's just unnecessary. What are we saying here? So John Glenn Wilson says, "Morning, people. Kiwi here, first place in the world to greet the sun." Well, there we go. Albert says, "Expecting a hammering from France. Farrell doing a Farrell tackle." Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Owen Farrell getting himself into lots of trouble. Who would have thought? But yes, that's generally going to be a big outcome because he got a red card for this quite recently, did the tackle school, and has come back and done it again. So one would imagine the tackle school didn't really work, did it? So big decisions to make there. But Evan says, Australia supporting South Africa, beat Scotland. Albert Fleming is saying Pretoria not as cold today. I tell you what, summer is well on its way here, actually. I mean, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. It's a bit cold in the evenings. During the day, though, it's pretty mellow. Mark is saying, supporting Scotland and watching from Amsterdam. John says the same, but not in the World Cup opener. Fair enough. Staying in Van der Merwe, etc., I suppose I have to support Scotland. I mean, let's just all support Scotland. It'll be far more fun if we're all kind of behind the same team, wouldn't it? So let's just all get behind Scotland. I also want to get myself a Scottish shirt. Basically, I want to get the shirt I'm wearing, but Scotland there, because I think it's, first of all, I think I suit the sort of the navy, and I always like that Scotland traditional sort of jersey. It's the French anthem over here. It's such a cool French team, by the way. It's a decent Scottish side. I think this will be a really good game, actually. We're talking about number 2 and number 3 now, hey? France, number 3 and number 5 in the world. So this, in theory, should be a bit closer than I think some people reckon it will be. But France, who went down to Scotland last week, have named a very strong side. Let's go look at it, shall we? It is Cyril Bay, Julien Marchand, Dorian Aldegheri, Cameron Waukee, Thibaut Flement, Paul Boudinot, Charles Oudevon, Gregory Aldred, Antoine Dupont, Romain Intermac, Gabien Velo, Jonathan Dante, Gael Ficou, Damien Pinot, Thomas Ramos. It's a scary 15. It is with 15 that you look up and you go, oh, bugger. Off the bench, Pierre Bourgeret, Jean-Baptiste Gros, Une Antonio, Florian Fahegi, Bastien Chaleroux, Sekou Makalou, Maxime Lucci, and Louise Barry, who I think is actually potentially on debut. 6-2 split there for the French. For the Scots, it is Pierre Schoeman, George Turner, Pierre Null in the front row. Then Richie Gray, Grant Gilchrist in the second row. Jamie Ritchie is back and captains the side. He's got Rory Darge and Jack Dempsey for company in the back row. Ali Price next to Finn Russell is the halfback pairing. Julian van der Merwe, Carl Steyn, the two wings. South African-born wings, that is. Suna Topolotto and Hugh Jones in that Chupolotto combo. Blair Kinghorn at full back. Off the bench, it is Stuart McInerney, nice player. Rory Sutherland, Javon Sebastian, Scott Cummings, Sam Skinner, Josh Bayliss, George Horde, and Ollie Smith. So two South African-born props, two South African-born wingers, and a French side which would make most teams very, very nervous. Should be an absolutely epic encounter. Get me some score predictions down in that chat. And let's get ready for what will hopefully be an absolute thriller because, yeah, I want to see good quality rugby. We didn't see particularly good quality rugby in the last game. So this is the game I'm kind of banking on for that quality. Right, Scotland playing left to right. Nick Berry, the referee, in charge today. I just want to make sure everything is working. We'll move to our tracker. It'll be exciting to have our tracker working and stuff like that. Now they'll be doing it to international rugby, doing some of the under 20s and stuff like that. It wasn't working as well. But it is, well, the Summer Nation Series is being fully done from a stats point of view. It looks like an absolutely epic crowd there. Charles Oudevon looks on, and Nick Berry is about to get underway. Blair Kinghorn, ball and fat. Let's get going. And we do have kickoff as Kinghorn goes down to the right-hand side. And Gregory Aldred gets his first touch back in a French jersey for the last few games before the World Cup, which kicks off in less than 4 weeks. Right, but haze on screen as the fireworks stuff also clear. Anton Dupont back in the side. Goes to the boot. And we'll find a decent touch find. That should be up by about the halfway mark. In fact, could just be beyond the halfway mark. He is so good, isn't he, Antoine Dupont? And so first opportunity now for Scotland at the set piece. An aspect where I thought that what is going on with my scoreboard? Bit confused. Let me try and sort that out. There it is. And Scotland coming in the inside there. And Blake King also. Scotland with a good hit piece first up here. Good hands. Finn Russell. Nice carry there from Jack Dempsey. Finn Russell looking to hold the ball. Oh, cheapest. How's he got that? Jeez, Finn Russell's just so good. He's just so good. I don't know how he managed to do that. Good line speed those early from Scotland though. Hugh Pilato at first receiver, now giving it to it's Hugh Jones. Then to Pilato. Now this is Rory Dodge on that left hand side. Really good continuity. 6 phases here from Scotland. Good defense though from France so far. Now ball over the top there. Thomas Ramos has got a lot to do. It's back inside. Doing for Mervyn's come away with it. He's looking for support. Cheap as me. That could have been huge for Scotland if he managed to get away there. But Scotland on the charge here. Fred Russell going himself, getting the ball through. Ali Price popping up to Pierce Schoolman in a gap. This is really good work here from Scotland. Penalty advantage as well. 3 roll of the dice. Chipolotto to Finn Russell. Finn Russell out towards Jack Dempsey. Steps back inside. Desperate tackle there from Anton Dupont. Pick up and go from VPN now. Scotland starting strong here. Thought about the inside ball there and went himself. Cheap as me. What a start. What a start. Scotland here to play. Scotland here to play. That's what I like to see. And Finn Russell is cooking already, boys. He's cooking. And they're going to go for the corner. I love that. I love that. Nice and confident. This is what I say. I wouldn't have... France are definitely favourites, and I do expect them to win. But do not write the Scottish side off. Start off nicely here. Albert saying this French team is scary no matter who you support. Who would be worse for Springboks to face according to New Zealand or France? Probably prefer to take New Zealand. Actually, I don't know. Good line take there from Jamie Ritchie. Scotland looking to try and hit France with a more. First call of stop is come from Nick Berry though. Now starting to get and penalty advantage as well. As they're starting to get a bit of momentum. They're going to produce that ball, make it available. Hugh Jones throws it onto the bounce to Blake Kinghorn, who gets it out to Kyle Steyn. South African, born and raised, scoring for Scotland. Scotland to start like a house on fire. France shell shocked. What a start to the match. Bang. Bang, bang. Well, that's a Springbok fan. As much as I enjoy watching Scotland and them doing well, it's a scary prospect when you think that they're supposed to be they're the easier game of the two between them and Ireland. But bang, on the bounce there to Kinghorn, just throwing wide, so much space. Desperately trying to get across there, but Carl Steyn is a very good finisher. Getting there first. What a start from Scotland, though. Goodness me. And Finn Russell, that looks pretty good as well. Yeah, he nails it as well. Finn Russell is here to cook. He is here to cook, gents. And that is a perfect start from Scotland and a very good kick from Finn Russell. I mean, I think we saw more class and execution in that move than we did the entire England-Wales game. This is like a different level of rugby on display here. Right, the restart from France, going on the left-hand side. Well, bless me. But now, penalty for France, holding on the ball. Julien Marchand, he's very good in that position, making his presence known already. One of the best hookers in the world, for good reason. And another penalty, an opportunity for France to try and hit back. John said, as a Kiwi, I have to say the France halfback is very good. He would go nasty on our bench. Even saying go to South Africa B, and John said, I like the way South Africa are looking. Well, glad you do. A lot of the South Africans don't, to be honest. They take the points here, by the way, so Thomas Ramos will step up. Right, and what can Thomas Ramos conjure up early on here? Off the boot, he's a very reliable goal kicker. And he will add 3 points to the French tally and make it a 4-point game. 10 points in the first 7 minutes. We're off to a bit of a flyer here. Right, so France do hit back, but Scotland still with the advantage. Blair Kinghorn will probably go back down that right-hand side. There he does. Lifted very high in the air. It's going to be a bit competitive here at Bottles, and ready to fall. I think it's come off the hands of a Scottish player, so there should be a knock-on advantage for France. Into Maxi's a half gap, though. Tupolotto, it's a great tackle from him getting across there. And the ball's been ripped. So turnover ball here. Blair Kinghorn has to have a bit of a run. So it's Dempsey, in fact. VPN now going to Pierre Skuman. Two props combining well. Now Finn Russell. Tupolotto. And Finn Russell struggling to get that ball, but penalty advantage here for Scotland as well. So France has been letting them down at the moment. Addy Price giving it to Finn Russell. Finn Russell just going short. Good hands, good hands. Castaigne wrapping around. Now Jamie Richard. Look at the pace of play this year from Scotland. Addy Price to Finn Russell. Finn Russell wants to go himself, bringing up the hands. Inside ball to Pierre Skuman. Jamie Ritchie. Ball over the top from Kinghorn to Duan van der Merwe. Good hands from Castaigne to Duan van der Merwe. Duan van der Merwe stepping inside. Brought down by Jonathan Dante. No advantage. They're going to go back for the penalty. What a pace this is from Scotland. And now I think they're going for the points, yeah? So Finn Russell, they're going to take the points here after Sheepers. What a start this has been. High octane stuff, but more important, quality. High quality. All flows are sticking. Little wraparounds, little moves here. The French defense is having to do work overtime here. But after watching such a scrappy and sloppy affair in England and at Twickenham, This is like a different level of rugby. And Finn Russell will bend that in slightly towards the right when he started, but it does go over. So 10 points to 3. And the Scotland start continues to get even better.
Just show you the penalties conceded from last week. 14 to 12.
And 13 points in less than 30 minutes. This is good. I'll tell you what, they keep this up. First of all, both teams are going to be absolutely finished come like the 30-minute mark because it is apparently quite warm over there, and this has been a really, really high-paced start. Good restart there. Now Pierre Schoeman. Now Eddie Price. Use a left boot and will find touch. So it'll be the first opportunity now for France to really get ball in hand inside Scottish territory. Right. Julian Marchand goes to Kevin Wackey in the front of the line out. Good take from him. Looking for the rolling more here at France. First time really with ball in hand, the French. Marchand and it's a good looking more as well. Controlling things at the back there. Watch out when he does go. But Anton Dupont is going for the ball. No, he decides to keep it. We're getting a bit of a moon on the right hand side there from, I think that's Cyril Bai. Seen far more of him than I'd like to. Now Anton Dupont is being told to use it. He does use it. Goes to Dante in the midfield there. He bats it up, but it's a good tackle coming from Jamie Ritchie. Now Dupont going to Intermac. Pinot, not too many options. Side sort of just stripped with it to the left. Going backwards, but he's finally with a space. Eventually brought down. Carl gets across. And it's turnover boy off for Scotland. And Finn Russell gets it away from Billy King, where he fires it out towards Duvan van der Merwe. What a frantic start this is for Scotland at the moment, doing absolutely everything right. Eddie Price fires it back to Finn Russell. Finn Russell just nonchalantly sort of knocks down the middle of the park. It'll set up as well. So Jonathan Dante is back, and he's just going to pat that down. Let his team return. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Finn Russell looks like he's got about 5 hours every single time he touches the ball. Right, goal and drop out chair for France. And Finn Russell has got this game on a sixpence at the moment, really controlling things nicely. Right, and the restart there. Right, Eddie Price. Good offload there. It's a really nice line being run by Pierre Schoeman. Now Finn Russell. Go forward ball here to Tupelotta. Tupelotta looking to straighten. Steps on the inside. Good tackle there from Jonathan Dante, but taking a few yards. Quick ball for Eddie Price. To Vier now. And Finn Russell. Well, Jeepers. Grays allowed that ball to run. And then it was hacked ahead, but I imagine they'll go back for the knock-on initially. Vier now. Yeah, the ball from Finn Russell was a bit rushed. And Richie Gray let it bounce, so it eventually moved forward. And then Dupont going for, well, just kicking it out and pushed by Richie Gray in the process. And Scotland's a good line out. And we're doing really well there. I think it was Eddie Price away from danger. It was a seriously good pace of play here. George Turner getting involved quite a lot as well early on, the Scottish hooker. Eddie Price. Always looking for the offloads. Yeah, now Pierre Schoeman with a bit of space. Makes a few yards. Quick boy from Eddie Price. Lots of offloads. Now very short. There goes to Rory Dodge. He twists around in the tackle. Makes a few yards. I'll try and get it. And won a penalty. I don't actually think it's. I don't think he won the penalty. I think Scotland can see a penalty coming from the side. Right, John Glenn Wilson saying, never underestimate the Southern Hemisphere team. Pierce Gruen putting the pants down. Yeah, no, listen. Evan saying, I won't be surprised if Scotland beat Ireland playing like this. I'll tell you what, I'll be very impressed if we beat Scotland if they're going to play like this. And James Gass saying, I still reckon France will win, but what a performance from Scotland. Yeah, look, what a start. What an absolute start. This is what Scotland are capable of. I think if they were on the other side of the draw, I reckon they'd be going straight to the final, to be honest. I think if they were in the side of the draw that England have, I reckon Scotland would be very much good enough to get to a final. And surely Townsend's the next British and Irish Lions coach. Surely. Good take there from Cameron Waku. Once again, looking for the Rodney Moore here of France. They're just outside the 22. It's a bit fractured though, and they've got a penalty advantage. Marchand pops it up for Danton Dupont. He goes to Dante, wraps around to Intermac. Intermac goes to the boot there. And this should be pretty easily marked. And is pretty easily marked by Blake Kinghorn. They'll go back for the penalty. Hello, dog. Coming to settle in here for the night to you. So penalty from France. And wouldn't surprise me they take the 3 points here. Thomas Ramos just slots another one. Just try and calm things down a little bit. A little bit shell-shocked France and a lot of pressure here. No, they're going to go for the corner. They're going to go for the corner. That's a lot of confidence being shown. Richie trying to get some clarity in regards to what they can and can't do when it comes to the maul. So I think it was him that was actually penalised. He's saying he went straight through. I think he did go straight through, but then collapsed from there. I think is the issue. So through and down almost. Right, once again, they go to Cameron Waku. Doesn't manage to really get down. If he try and mill, yeah, they got a penalty advantage here to France. So free roll of the dice here. It also looks like the Scottish pack has been a little bit organised there. So could get a second shove here. No second shove. Ball's going to have to be available for Gregor Eldred. He comes across the side. Goes himself. Free roll of the dice. Now the big man, Cyril Baye. Now DuPont, and the ball's getting knocked down. But another penalty, though, for... Yeah, straight through. Didn't let him come down. I'm sure Kevin Rocky will be the target once again. Yeah, it's looking pretty good here, French line-out. And this is where Scotland's frantic start, good start, is going to be tested now. It's about understanding the defence and being able to see if you can withstand this French pack. Oh, I'll tell you what, that looked like a knock-on. Not. It is a knock-on. It is a knock-on. Well, that's got a long way. So a bit of a variance now. Trying to sort of pop it down to... who's wrapping around there? I think it was Paul Budenhead. He was coming around the side. So a little pre-planned move and just knocking on as it came down. Gregory Eldred went up instead and popping it as he was changed down and just put in there, not able to take it cleanly. So a big moment this from Scotland if they can just defend the scrum. I think it's the first scrum. It is the first scrum of the day. So they'll be wanting to try and just get this to the back and let Finn Russell, Ali Price clear their lines and just reset. Almost at the 20-minute mark already. Shows you how excited the game would be. I mean, if this was Wales versus England, we'd probably be at about the 10-minute mark. There was just no excitement whatsoever. A lot of movement there. You have a reset here. Right, so reset here. It'll be an interesting scrum battle, this, actually. VPN now is a pretty solid scrummager. Silverby is one of the best in the world. PS Kumar, for me, is actually coming in leaps and bounds. I think he's really become a genuine international prop. If there was a British and Irish Lions tour tomorrow, I'd actually back him to make it, to be honest. But how old is he? I don't think he's that old. He's 29 years old. He could very well be in the mix for 2025. Be 31 years old. I reckon PS Kumar could be a British and Irish Lion. Penalty for France. Penalty for France. And it's against PS Kumar. And it's DVP curse there. And Antonio, by the way, on the bench watching on. What a player he is. But it's his tight head mate, Aldegheri, who's gotten that that penalty there. And Romain Intermac, who... Yeah, I mean, he's got everything going for him, doesn't he? Romain Intermac. He's got a great set of hair. He's a good-looking chap, and he's a phenomenal rugby player. Some people just get blessed with the genes there. Right, Scotland do compete. It's a great take there by Charles Dullevant. Looking for a rolling more here. Looking pretty well set, but not really moving forward. There's also a French player on the floor. Now they have to use it. Dupont goes to Dante, puts his head down. Finn Russell grabs the legs. Tupelosh takes the rest of him. Intermac thinks about coming on the inside. Scotland defense is scrambling, looking to try and hold him up. They do have to release. Dupont now. Cyril Baye. And the ball's popped up. And another penalty for France beyond the ball. Wouldn't be surprised if Nick Berry starts thinking about going to the pocket. I think this will be a final warning here for Scotland. Too many penalties in the red zone. If this was Amish Kelly, he probably would have issued 3 cards with the way he was going earlier. Yeah, the next one will be a yellow card. Water break. Ah, come on, we don't need water breaks. You guys are professional athletes. Like, come on. You'll be fine. Just, train harder. It's going to be water break while Ramos does look to get the extra 3. It's probably the right idea here from France. France tries to diffuse the Scotland bomb so far. And it's another good kick from Thomas Ramos. Pretty straightforward. But France do get some more points back on the board. Good take there. Aldred once again is still reliable under the high ball. And eventually a couple of blockers arriving for Anton Dupont so he can clear the lines. Doesn't find touch. Blair Kinghorn goes inside to Finn Russell. What's he gonna try and do? Nope. That's definitely not Finn Russell. I think it's Jack Dempsey. I was about to say, we're all quite far away. But as soon as you start running towards contact, you know it's not Finn Russell. Jamie Ritchie now. Scotland just inside French territory. Eddie Price looking for options. Finds Finn Russell. Jones slightly isolated, but just turns towards contact. Eddie Price. VPN now, first receiver goes to Finn Russell. Claire Kinghorn makes one break. Oh, he makes another break. Almost straight through, looking for options. Pops it up. And Eddie Price has just lost it forward. How has he done that? Was it not knocked out of his hand? And then another knock on there from France. Surely. No, it wasn't knocked out. It was knocked out of his hand. What is going on here, Nick Berry? Cameron Waukie's going away. And eventually Nick Berry is going to blow his whistle and actually bring us back and tell us what the hell's going on here. Whose knock on is it, Joe? What is it? Is actually Scotland ball. I mean, that was just Kaz. I don't quite know who the knock on came for. Yeah, I think it's going to be a Scotland scrum. Marquez says a lot of pressure there, quite telling. I was looking at Francis Cole's team the other day. Marquez said French pack was too strong and they have a 6-2 bench. Yeah, well, yeah, very much in the mold of the Springboks in terms of that dominant pack, and then they just release another pack. Tian's saying it's a solid in 20 degrees there. Well, they are European. So I wonder what the weather's gonna be like when we're there. Looking like it's getting a bit warm this week. I don't really do like very cold, so I'm gonna need like a mild. Like this shirt is basically what I'd like to be wearing. That's kind of pretty peak. I don't need a massive jacket, just like a young long sleeve shirt, and we're cooking. Right, so it will be a scrum. Andy Price does have the ball, so it will be a Scottish scrum.
3 for good measure, and then 3 to 2 doing his coaching course. That's very. This is a nice gun.
We have another reset here. So the scrums are a bit messy at the moment. I haven't had too many clean scrums. So hopefully they'll get a bit better there. Yep, now having a chat to Nick Berry. Please just smash like on the video, by the way, and keep voting in the poll, which I'm actually I'm going to close it now. So I'm going to ask a new poll. Are Scotland dark horses at the World Cup? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to win the World Cup, but could they be causing a few upsets? Could they be the reason South Africa don't get to the quarterfinals? Could they potentially knock an Ireland out? If they get to the quarterfinals, could they shock a New Zealand, for example? Based on the first 25 minutes here, I think there's been a lot of progression in the Scottish side with regards to... They've always had moments over the past years. Free kick, by the way, at the scrum. They've had moments in the past years where they've been phenomenal, but they've just not been able to sort of sustain that. And they've almost lacked patience at times. This Scottish side is patient and a lot more clinical with the way they play and the way they manage the game. So I think that they're a team ready to upset others.
A few forwards coaches who are due to be making their visitations to the start of Prague's going. Interesting how much the football pitch is cutting up a little. Their work for around was to do. Exactly granted the warm-up before it was a bit when there was a catch there on the right hand side, but it covered it up with the right side.
Clutch. Bind and set. Big scrum here. Scotland recalling for the scrum. And that must have been called from the props director. They've got a bit of dominance here. PS Kuman is anchoring nicely. Ball available. They're going to the right-hand side. Finn Russell, shape to kick. Then decide to get it to Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones wants to come back inside. Finn Russell back on the inside. Sorry, Ali Price. Now Finn Russell looking to wrap around. Pierce Kuman in the midfield there. Getting the ball over the advanced line. Ali Price shape to go. Finding a bit of space himself, which is quickly shut. Now Gilchrist. And this French rush defense is creating a few gaps. Even Grant Gilchrist thought about taking a bit of a snipe. Finn Russell to Tupolotto popping up to Hugh Jones. Carl Steyn. Scotland just really towing the line with regards to the obstruction. Now quickly taking penalty there from France. And I think they've actually bundled them out there. Oh dear, straight down the middle, top of Clement. Oh my goodness, I guess they're on a play. Anton, of course it's Anton Dupont. Was it going to be anybody else but Anton Dupont? And that is what France can do, like a flash. But they might need to take it back. Looks like they're going to have to take it back. They are going to take it back. It was out. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yellow card. And that's Jamie Ritchie. So it looks like Ali Price has been binned. So the flag went up, so they start playing. So I think it's a yellow card to Ali Price. But the try will not stand. It's definitely a yellow card. I assume it's Ali Price. That's from the sounds of it who was not 10 and created the infringement. So Gregor Townsend will now have to really hope that, yeah, so Ali Price there. I'll tell you what, I don't think he does go out either. I don't think he ever goes out, actually. I think that try should probably stand. That's a bit controversial. But the touch judge put his flag up, and therefore they stop playing. So that's the decision. Thibaut Clement, though, what a player. I mean, you struggle to find too many locks in the world with his sort of skill set. Maybe an Archie Stamer. But now Ali Price going off for 10 minutes is a massive blow for Scotland. Without scrum off now. And he started brilliantly as well. Now Gregory Alger on the angle. Good tackle on him. Anton Dupont. Cyril Bay. France really up in the ante now. Going Dupont. Gael Fuku making a few medals and getting the offload away to Julien Marchand. This is now where France is so dangerous. Gregory Alger picking up off the base of the ruck. Jamie Ritchie driving him back. So I think it was Rory Darge actually was there. Now Charles Ollivant, Antoine Dupont, slow ball for him, popping up to Aldegheri. Inside ball. And they're thrown it straight into the hands of Duran van der Merwe. Penalty, though, for France. It's another warning for Scotland, so they could go down to 13 if they don't be careful. So this is danger signs now for Scotland, as they've called the scrum here, have France. Because basically one more penalty and they can go down to 13 men, and all of a sudden all what they've done in those early sort of 20 minutes could be undone very quickly. Still got the lead, but under a lot of pressure here. A lot of pressure, sustained pressure as well. And usually the course, the scrum's gone down with the course. Usually going on the left-hand side to Pont. It's going to be too easy. Intermat's going to go straight through. It was so telegraphed. You can see it. He's too good. Too good. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile. That's so good from France. Too easy. Far too easy. Accurate, but it must be said, too easy. Yeah, they're good. They are good. And the Scotland bubble, unfortunately, I think has been burst there. I mean, there was nothing complicated about that, but the pace at which Anton Dupont broke and then Intermac just ran such a good line there. Just makes them so difficult to tackle. And you can see France already back to the halfway line, just sort of recollecting themselves, kind of settling in. That's him taking the lead. Thomas Ramos looking to add the lead. He does add the lead. And what was 10 points to 3 is now 13 points to 10. 10 unanswered points there for France. Bang. He's got options as well. Blake Greenwald tries to come for the interception. Carl Staines trying to get across there. Always going to be reaching. No Addy Price as well. So we play a man down and straight over. And Scotland, as you'd imagine, taking their time getting to the halfway line. We're really through 32 minutes. What a half rugby that has been. As I said, the quality difference between this and the earlier game is just absolutely chalk and cheese. A bit deeper there from Scotland. That'll be a territory thing. That you've got to try and manage the game without any price. Antoine Dupont taking his time, yeah. And he's hammered that downfield right up against the touchline. Really, really good clearance there from Antoine Dupont. He's just nothing he can't. I mean, let's put that by the 10-meter line inside Scotland territory. He's gained 41 meters there. And it's just too easy for him. It is far too easy for him. Right, so 13-10 at half time would not be bad at all for Scotland. So I think the big thing for them is to kind of manage this period. It's a very good line out. Going to Gray, out at the back. Good throw from Turner. Looking to try and get the rolling more going here, Scotland. Pretty well set as well, but now they get slightly shoved back. Finn Russell covering at scrum off. Goes to the box kick. He's demonstrating his skill set, and unfortunately, you can tell he's not a scrum off because he put that straight into touch. It's a pretty dreadful kick. His first real mistake of the game. And this is going to be a French line out on the Scotland 10-meter line. Another pause here. Apparently they're dying in the heat. Running more enough for the French, and they're kind of broken apart there. As Gregory Eldridge kept going, Carl Staines trying to stop them by himself. And the ball's bubbled and gone forward, actually. And they'll go back for the knock on there. Right, so Alpha Lincoln saying, like I said earlier, Scotland has had good starts like this, even against the box, only to get pulled back in. 123 saying, URC has helped all European teams except Italian. I'll tell you what, watch the Italian juniors. They've got a very nice bunch of youngsters. So give them about 5 or 6 years, which I know is a long time. But if they get those juniors right, they've got some very nice players coming up. John Green will say, I agree, which is why the bench is so important. How many minutes on the yellow card still? I think about 3 or 4. It should come out just before half time. I'm not mistaken. When did the yellow card officially go to him? Doesn't actually say the time, unfortunately. Right, now Finn Russell's going to feed a ball into the scrum, so he's getting he's got his work cut out for him tonight. Alright, 4 minutes to go to half time. I said most important thing for Scotland is just to wind this clock down, get Eddie Price back on, who was having an absolute storm when they had possession. Penalty for Scotland. That's a big moment in the game. Pierre Schoolman getting the better of Aldegheri this time. And Finn Russell will be able to kick this into touch, and they'll just be able to really slowly, ambly walk away to the French half, just slow the game down, let the clock run down on the yellow, and try and get to half time. You get to half time with a 3-point lead, and I think they would very much take that, especially with the way they play. When they've had ball in hand, they've looked very, very good. In fact, both teams have looked very good with ball in hand. And Finn Russell does find touch, not a bad touch. Final should be just by the 22, is just by the 22. Has gained 34 meters there. Hemming Galtier with his massive headset and big and glass to match. Good lineup there. Jamie Ritchie going up and coming down with it. Stop once is the call from Nick Berry. George Turner needs to get this ball out. Finn Russell comes to use it. Tupolotu puts his head down, runs to Intermac, who has an assistant from Gregory Aldred. So okay from him. Finn Russell popping up to Rory Dodd with a fumble. And Aldred is trying to get his hands over that ball. Now Finn Russell to, I think that's Grant Gilchrist looking at the size of him there. Jack Dempsey going through the phase in TR Scotland. Now I'll go out to Hugh Jones. Not too many options. He decides to drift inside, looking for a bit of space. Just trying to get Scotland back on the front foot. They've lost a lot of temps. They've gone back 10 metres, in fact, back to the 10-metre line. Jamie Ritchie, the captain, puts his head down. Solid carry from him. Presents it well to Finn Russell. Wants to change the angle here to Kinghorn. With the best offload back to Jack Dempsey. He's working really hard. And Jonathan Dante on the ground, really, yeah, that was for the first time, looked pretty aimless from Scotland. Not too much going on there, not too many decisions being made or commitment to any sort of particular line or anything like that, and pretty telegraphed at the end. And Jonathan Dante, who's not been playing his best shape in a French jersey the last couple of games, was very quick to get over that. Right, there it is. Ali Price is back onto the field. I said he should be back before half time. So I can remove that yellow card there. And they are back to a full contingent. So not the worst result in the end. They did lose the lead while he was out. But still very much in the game here, Scotland. And as the clock does turn red, the big thing would be just to defend this line out and get the ball out as quickly as possible. No penalty advantage, though, for collapsing them all. And they could be actually at risk of another yellow card, to be honest. Dupont popping it up to Charles Olivon. Now Dupont just tipping it over the top. Dupont for the movers around there. They do knock it back. Very well played, but they're going to go back for the penalty. Galfiku stayed down. What a player he is. Cheap is one of my favourite players to watch when he's playing well.
Rolling around, trying to get referees attention, nothing in it. One player kicked over the top, penalty was coming, listening.
Check the collision. They said there's nothing wrong with it. So what are they going to do? Yeah, push it over the corner, I'd imagine. Yeah, you can still receive a bit of treatment, yeah, so it's not hundreds. Right, here we go. France looking to really finish on a high here. They were to score a converted try and go up 10 points ahead. That would be the perfect start way to finish. Scotland will feel that would be a bit unfair after how well they started. But, yeah, France did kind of weather a bit of a storm. And once they got going, they haven't really looked back, to be honest. Well, Scotland are brave. They go up and they come away with the ball. That's really well done. Now they'll be able to kick this out. Eddie Price goes to Finn Russell. He says, thank you very much. No, he just kicks down the middle of the park. I'm not sure that was the intent. And Thomas Ramos got a lot of Scottish players. He decides he's had enough, kicks it out. Half-time score 30 points to 10. Very, very entertaining half. And a lot to look forward to in the second half. Let me know what you thought about that half down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video as well if you're new. Please do subscribe. I was hoping we could try and get to 36,000 subscribers. We'll need another 40 people to do that. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I'll see you guys very shortly. Right, we are back. Hello, and welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to a very exciting match we've got going here. France 13, Scotland 10. It's been good. It's been really enjoyable. That first half absolutely flew by. We've seen a really good standard of rugby. We've seen some really good individual moments, very good individual performances, and we're definitely getting quite a lot of information about both teams, to be honest. From that first half, Scotland were looking very good. They started like a house on fire. France kind of clawed their way back into the game. So probably France in charge, but Scotland very much still into it in it. And a couple of early moments, Scotland could very well put themselves back in the lead and back in the driving seat. They are back to a full contingent, which will help, of course. Andy Price getting that yellow card. It's a pretty good start there from Dempsey with a pretty decent run down the side. Oh, and then that's a horrible moment from Pierre Schoeman, who's lost it for Greg Aldridge, thrown this out to Jonathan Dante. All of a sudden, France are on the front foot. Tupolocha does bring him down. Anton Dupont bringing in Gregory Aldridge. Decides to go to the other side now. Fires out to Julian Marchand. Popping up to Dupont. And so a bye all of a sudden. So all of a sudden, France on the front foot. Dreadful start for Scotland. The worst possible start, really. A lot of momentum here. Now to remain into Mac. He hasn't actually had to do much today apart from scoring the try he did score. And that's a really good tackle there from Scotland, driving a few players back. Now Dupont, there's an overlap, and he's over. Of course he's over. This man could very well be the top try scorer in the World Cup. He's going to score tries for fun in 4 weeks' time. He just scored that for fun. Pinot is a proper finisher, and that is the perfect start from France. Damien Pinot. Cheapers, this guy can know how to score a try here. That could be game really. Just to start like that, France were on it like that, like a flash. One mistake, Pierre Schoeman knock on, and bang, they're out in the front foot, and then bang, they're over. 2-on-1, George Blakey didn't really know what to do. He was relying on an inside defender. He was never really going to get there. This man has got so much pace. It's a great kick from Omerson as well. As the extras, and France all of a sudden open up a 10-point lead within 3 minutes of the second half. Right, restart. Good take there from Cameron Waukee. It's been pretty good. Tackle eventually comes from Gregory Aldridge. He managed to rip that ball away. Anton Dupont going pretty deep. Dempsey, I don't think he was actually expecting. He gets away to Blake Kinghorn, who finds a pretty good clearance. Ramos decides to take quickly, though. Goes to Anton Dupont. Dupont wants to run. Gives it away to Ramos. And runs the support line. Oh, goodness me. Thomas Ramos is still going. Inside ball to Charles Olivan. He's going to go himself. That is diabolical from Scotland. Brilliant from France. And not just like that. Game, set, and match. Far too easy. Far too easy, it must be said. Even Jonathan Dante is sitting there going, not so sure about that, but anyway, we move. And Scotland have started as badly in the second half as they did well in the first half. That's the only way. And look at it, it's a half-hearted chase. And then so many players getting across here. And Finn Russell is badly needs to be getting across there to make that tackle. But the Scotland defend is absolutely nowhere. You can see Anton Dupont identifying the space, firing out while Thomas Ramos got so much space, gets around Ellie Price. The support play. And Charles with the ball and running at full tilt under the post. It'll be a 7-pointer, and France have just gone bang bang within 5 minutes. That is absolutely ridiculous from them.
International skill to offer the conversion. France 27, Scotland 10. It's happened in a heartbeat.
That is absolutely mental. What are we saying here? They almost look like the All Blacks there. There we go. Olivan scores and converts. Feels like the 20 minutes when New Zealand went through the Springboks just too good. Yeah, I mean, the accuracy, every little touch there, the lines, the pace, to perfection. And now Scotland are suddenly, all of a sudden, 17 points behind. They were 3 points behind at half time. 5 minutes later, they are 17 points behind. See the 14 points in 5 minutes. As an absolute coach killer, where you think you just had the entire talk about what we need to do in the second half, what we need to start well, we need to put them under pressure, and then you go and start like that and just relieve all the pressure. But anyway, Scotland now need to start finding a way to... the ball's gone. Blair King was about to pass it and then realized that the ball had popped on the way in. That is bizarre. Has anybody ever seen that before? So that must have hit something on the way up or the way down. Because to have kicked it and have been fine and then land and literally he grabbed it. As he grabbed it, you realize it was gone. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before. All is out. Scotland is starting with the scrum. Finn Russell. Now this is good. This is better for Scotland running from deep. Julian van der Merwe slightly behind him. He can't really take it, and it's been kicked ahead. Julian van der Merwe is going to go after him, but there is a knock on. Looks promising. Looked much better running from deep, and the ball just slightly behind him. Couldn't grab it. You can see a very frustrated player, Julian van der Merwe, has had very limited opportunity to get involved in the game so far today, and the pass from Hugh Jones, Blair Kinghorn, just slightly behind him. Right, so scrum now for France. Andrew Dupont looking to go himself. Pretty much trying to get up quickly. Gale Fiku, a couple of options here. Tupolatu. Oh, it's brilliant from Finn Russell. He's making an absolute menace of himself. He's turned that ball over. Julian van der Merwe is just and he's lost the ball in contact, trying to throw the man off. So it's another turnover ball. Thomas Ramos gives it inside to Anton Dupont. A couple of options for him. And then eventually decides there's no oh dear. That's Cyril Bayer that's down with an ankle issue. And in terms of players they really can't afford to lose, he's very much one of them. Good old Gaultier with his goggles. Right, so earlier on I asked a poll, I said, Scotland dark horse at the World Cup. We've had over 100 votes, which is quite cool, and 60% of people saying yes. That's not looking good for Cyril Bayer. Wow, he went down like a sack of potatoes. This is great work by Finn Russell. He's just trying to retreat back and then decides to throw his hands back up and come across there. And then doing front of Merva, just trying to throw Penno off and then losing the ball in contact. So they are going to replace Silbai, it looks like. So Jean-Baptiste Gross, he is returning from injury, does come back on. So at least they have got him back into the mix. But that'll be a very worrying wait before they sort of get that diagnosis from Cyril Bayo, who's one of the top loose heads in the world. And a very, very important player for them. So they won't take any risk with him whatsoever. All right, so 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks to make it to that first game. It was 4 weeks yesterday was the official count. So 27 days until France lock horns with New Zealand in that Rugby World Cup opener on the 8th of August, 8th of September. Yeah, 8th of September. Aldridge going to DuPont. DuPont to Intermac, looking to wrap around. It is to DuPont. Fiku is there. Missed the runner there. So Thomas Ramos is having to get across. Finn Russ comes up nice quickly, makes the tackle. Hugh Jones is up there to add some support. So not quite working out for France, but still got a bit of forward momentum here. Now DuPont going on the right-hand side. Ball over the top towards Penno, who's going to kick and chase here. He's lethally fast. Johan van der Merwe is putting a lot of effort in this. Who's going to get there first? Oh, Penno's gone over. I think this could be a try. We might have to check a couple of knock-ons, but this could very well be a try. Nick Berry's going to go upstairs. There's a 4-person foot race. I mean, I have to have a check here. There is a grounding, but the question is, was there a knock-on or anything before the grounding? That's what we're going to have to go up and check. On-field decision is try. All right, let's have a look here. Oh, this is the point. Does remain Intermac behind Damien Penno when he does kick it. It does look slightly ahead, which means that if he plays any part in this, he's technically offside. Now, let's have a look here. With a knock-on by Intermac anyway, so the try's not going to stand. I think he's actually offside in the first place, to be honest. I would actually be going back for a Scotland penalty. No try, knock on wide, Scotland scrum. Yeah, I think they could have gotten a penalty. I think they could have justified a penalty there, to be honest. So by watches on. I mean, even during the England-Wales game, a lot of players going off, and yeah, and every single time there is a slight injury, and that's the biggest thing when you have these games, that you kind of half you is worried about the result, the other half is just worried about getting through games without injuries. A couple of changes here from France. So Bourgeois is on for Gio Marchand, and Unai Tony is on for Aldegheri. So a brand new front row for France. It's a massive kick coming from Scotland, and taking it quickly there's Thomas Ramos to himself. He's going to return the favour now. And that's going to potentially go too far, you know. That's horrendous from Thomas Ramos. He launched it ahead, and it's just kicked up terribly, and it's going to be a scrum all the way back where he kicked it, which is deep inside French territory. So a bit of a mistake there for the French fullback.
the rugby ball was done, you wanted to sit up, rolled over, rolled over again, so we come back. Anything different? Now Scotland, thank you. Who have you got? Need something special. Just a little change of goal line drop out. It's just teams, kickers with a bit of a get the ball just to sit in the inbound area and force teams back to run back.
Right, so Scotland with a good platform here. Fires out as Ali Price, Chiboloto. Wrapping around Spin Russell. Well read though, and all of a sudden they're going to go to a different. Ali Price needs a bit of space down that left hand side. He's going to kick and chase for himself. It's a great kick. He's pinned France back to the 5-meter line. Really good awareness from the scrum. He's played really well. Apart from that yellow card, I think that Ali Price has been really good tonight. Trying to take it quickly here to Gregory Eldritch. We've seen that before. Right, first lineup for Bourgerie. To implement. It's a 4-man lineout. They go to Cameron Walker. It's a very good take from the number 4. Short there into Gregory Eldritch. Really good work there from France. This should be a really good exit as soon as they can get a decent kick in. And Anton Dupont does fine touch. Yeah, it's a really good exit. It's absolute world class that. It sounds so silly, but being able to exit like that is such an important part of the game. It release any end pressure. When you put under pressure, you put right back on the back foot and you can just go to a 4-man lineout, bash it up, create an angle, find a good touch finder, easy as you like. It's really, really important to be able to do that. It's not just about being able to score cool tries and create different attacks, stuff like that. Being able to get yourself out of situations, game management is such an underrated part of the game, and stuff like that is crucial. So look, at the end of the day, it's still a good net result for Scotland. I mean, Ali Price, there wasn't much on, so kicked him behind. Yes, they won. They had a good exit there, France, but Scotland's still on the front foot here. That's pretty well adjusted. It wasn't a great lineup, but it's worked out pretty well. Julian Van der Merwe finds himself with a bit of space, making a meter or two. He needs to have a bit more opportunity. Finn Russell now, not too many opportunities, decides to go himself. Sits down, remain into Mac. The ball's popped up once again. Jonathan Dante has decided to go to the boot, but he's hammered it pretty high. Julian Van der Merwe is retreating and has been reined in, and he's been tackled out by Anton Dupont, who's absolutely everywhere and doing absolutely everything right. And he's taking it quickly. I mean, jeepers, this French side is just vibes, isn't it? Dupont, Gael Ficou popping up to Bourgerie. Now Anton Dupont comes away into the 22. Go France. Gets you off that away to Gael Ficou. France deep inside the 22 now. Thomas Ramos, the first receiver, popping up to Cameron Walker. He's got a bit of a run. Brought down 5 meters ahead. This was really good from France. Now Gregory Eldritch. Jamie Rich trying to get his hands over that ball and winning it brilliantly. That is actually really, really well done by Jamie Ritchie. Oh dear, once again, another big concern. Romain Intermac is up but limping. Yeah, Romain Intermac's gone down. That is so smart from Finn Russell. France were napping really, so they were also walking back towards each other. Finn Russell identified this. He's hammered this downfield. It's been allowed to bounce. That's a huge carry from. So we're checking to see this foul play actually, because Finn Russell had something to say. That's an absolutely brilliant kick though from him. And there goes Romain Intermac in a 6-2 split. Not exactly what they would like to see. So all of a sudden, they're going to be throwing in a very inexperienced Louis Bilberet as Romain Intermac trudges off. And Scotland are at the 22. And Damien Ritchie with a bit of a fumble, but eventually does take it. Pops it up to... That's McAnally's come on. And do a bit of Merva straight down the middle. That's much better from Scotland. Still going to do in front of Merva. Quick ball needed and a penalty. Who's gotten over that? If that is Thibaut Clement, then that is phenomenal. No, it's Gabien Villiers. Well, he's done nothing today, really. He hasn't had too much to do with Gabien Villiers, and he's gotten himself over and won the penalty. It's a brilliant carry from Duan van der Merwe. It's exactly what Scotland needed. But a moment of perfection from the wing. And now France, Romain Intermac. I don't think you'll see him next week or the week after. But he's gone off injured. Cyril Bay's gone off injured. Well, Scotland have won that line out, so that's makes a nice change for them. Now Finn Russell to Tupolotto. Yeah, well played from him. Always managed to find a couple of yards. And I'll tell you what, Horde has come on. And really upping the ante here. McAnally on as well. Blake Kinghorn's a big tackle on him. A couple of Scottish placements now, but not managing to find a lot of go-forward ball. Now Finn Russell decides to go to the boot. So he's not much on right up against the touch line. Good work from Thomas Ramos, but he's outside the 22, so can't find touch. This is going to go straight back into the hands of Finn Russell, who's going to assess his options here. There's a bit of space down the left-hand side. He wants to run it. Goes to Kinghorn. Ball over the top, which was so far forward and dreadful. And what are you doing, mate? That is absolutely dreadful. Goodness me. Goodness me.
As fit as possible. Fiji and Australia to come into one warm games. Scotland have just got Georgia. Am I correct? Indeed, yeah. It's about matches for the very long season. That's why that well. Something happened in shot last week.
Gonna have another reset. Scrums have been a bit messy today. We haven't had a lot of scrummaging. So Mark Casey on the basis of France performance tonight, will they beat the All Blacks in the opener of the Rugby World Cup? Maybe another poll, Stevie. I like that. Who will win the Rugby World Cup opener? France or New Zealand? Two sides on the basis of this performance, very much in form. And it's going to be an absolute cracker. Can't wait. Cannot wait for that. Cancel my Friday play, my entire weekend, basically. I'm just not going to have any more weekends come September. Might as well draw hard on that last weekend of August, because after that, we're done. Intermac going to Damien Pinot. Now, Aldrich, who's lost the ball forward. Counter attack could be on here. They've got a couple of numbers here. Hugh Jones throwing out to Carl Steyn. Carl Steyn back on the inside. Billy making a good tackle there. Finn Russell, long pass out towards Tupolotto. Bit of an overlap to Scotland that they can try and create it. Whoever wants to drift back inside. That's a huge tackle on Joy Dodge, and Finn Russell's being dumped, but he managed to get the offload away. Tupolotto looking to once again get the things back on the front foot. We have a one-man mission here from Tupolotto, who is established himself so much. Oh, that's a great... Oh, can get the offload. He does get the offload away. Really good continuity there from Scotland. Game opening up a little bit, yeah. Now Finn Russell will chip over the top. That's really intelligent. Bounce with the ball. Thomas Ramos misses the tackle as well. Now decides to put it to his boot, but I think that might be too far. No, inside. Van der Merwe throws a huge pass inside to Finn Russell. Finn Russell looking for a few options. It's a really good kick from Finn Russell. He's found touch just before 22. Would have almost been 22. But he's managed the game well, Finn Russell. He's looked really good tonight. Maybe one odd mistake. But generally, I haven't seen him play with this much confidence in a long time. Time off. There's another French player down here, by the way. Oh dear, and it's Jean-Baptiste Gross, who doesn't look too badly injured, but he has been out this year. So you don't want an Australia situation where they lost 2 titles in the same game, and couple of replacements here. And now deep kick coming in. Staying inside. King Morn lifted high in the air. Carl Steyn is quite late to start chasing it, so this is not going to be competed with by Thomas Ramos, who wants to run himself. He's lost the ball forward though. And now Finn Russell wants to get things going. Looking for options here. Switch inside ball to Joe in the middle. A lot of space for him. And it takes 3 to eventually bring him down. He's such a powerful ball carrier. Quick ball there from Horn. Sebastian Van going the very direct route. Scotland still working. Now going on the left-hand side. Jerry Dawes looking for options. Now Hugh Jones trying to get the outside of Dante. Goes himself. Eventually brought down by Dante himself. Finn Russell doing well at the breakdown there. Pretty flat there. I read it very well. Big hit on McInally from Gregory Eldred. Scotland wants going over the left. Good read from Anton DuPont. He puts a big hit on Sebastian Ivan. Now Finn Russell skips the pass to Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones straight through the middle. Hugh Jones down the outside. Is he going to make it? He's looking for the pass. He's just short. David Pennant, there's no way to release that, Mr. Rev. You slowed that down. Really good work from Scotland. They're right on the... Oh, they're throwing up... Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I mean, if that's Horn that threw that pass, that is absolutely top draw. Top draw. The run from Hugh Jones, the awareness, the pass, the final pass there. And that cut-out pass there, and Hugh Jones, bang, puts on the afterburners. Bang, steps on the inside. Oh my goodness. And of all people, just by the way, I think that it's actually Sam Skinner who throws this pass. I mean, of all the people, the big lock has come in here, found the time. It is. I'll tell you what, that is... I don't think you'll see too many locks around the world getting across and doing that. Oh dear. By the way, Jonathan Dante's going off now. Jonathan Merva also receiving a bit of medical treatment. That's a rib issue now for Dante. Ah, jeepers, this French side is falling like flies. Right, so it's 12 points and not able to get over. Now, Tabal Men's gone off. This is actually a tactical placement, so Sekou Makalu's on. Good restart there from Scotland. Now Scotland once again really trying to up the ante, trying to sort of keep the pace of play up here, which is a common tactic in France, try and sort of get their big force to move around. BRBRM, the youngster. Pick up and go from Jean-Baptiste Gross, who's okay to continue. And to DuPont decides to chip over the top, and it's very, Gilchrist was there, comes off him, and forced to Hugh Jones, who sees a bit of space down the right hand side. This needs to come down though, it needs to come down, it won't come down, it'll go out in the full. Right, so that is Jonathan Dante, Romain Intermac, and Cyril Bay all off with injuries, by the way. Richie Gregg makes way. So that'll be Scott Cummings on in the number 19, I'm sure. Looking for the more yard France. We go to the last 15 minutes of the game. Rodrigo on a big run there, but McInally's up to the challenge. It's a very, very big hit there coming on Florian Verhage. Now, second McInally, by the way, replaced Jonathan Dante, so he's got into the centres. He is the swing player, I suppose, in the 6-2 split. Like the Quagga Smith, for example, you could play in the and penalty for Scotland there. Is it for Scotland? Yeah, it is for Scotland for cracking without the ball.
It certainly felt with those 2.5 scores from Ronaldo and Oliver, that's once we're about to slip into fifth gear and stay there. Really take that one, though. It's to Scotland. You know, probably with good stretches, it's just seeing Russell's out there, but the Lurder wants it. Things will happen.
Yeah, so that's Gail Fleeke, who was trying to take out the tackler, but there was no longer the tackler at the time. So pretty easy penalty in the end to... I would say Gregor looked shocked at the Locks pass. I think we were all shocked at that Locks pass. I mean, for Sam Skinner to throw a cut-out pass like that, I mean, jeepers. I mean, if Anton DuPont did that, for example, we'd be raving about it, let alone when the Lock did it. Evans is the case. New Zealand and SA just need to be physical as hell to break down France. Well, I mean, it's not that simple. They're pretty physical side themselves, but... yeah, a couple of knocks here for France, which won't look good. Mark A said, given the intensity of how international rugby is played today, injuries will be the biggest X factor in this Rugby World Cup. In my view, they can change the course of the tournament. Very good point, actually, being made. There is a lot of it, you know, if you can keep players fit and not lose important players. Like New Zealand, for example, when old Stephen Donald had to come out of practically off a fishing boat to win in the World Cup. Now Horn has to use it. Finn Russell, long pass out wide. That's a brilliant cut-up pass. In fact, this could be try score opportunity. Carl Stay comes on the inside. They were looking for the intercept there. I think it was Barry that wanted it. And Finn Russell through. Oh, he's going straight through the middle there. Getting up the offload away to McInally. Finn Russell is just pulling the strings here. Backwards over there. Hugh Jones now trying to clean up. What a game he's had. Scotland in the last, sorry, Sutherland going there, in the last 5-10 minutes has just come alive once again. Now Tupolotu, almost through. Playing advantage there, that's got to potentially be looking at a card there. With the momentum, there must be a warning. And they've taken it quickly as Finn Russell. They're just short, and they're over. Finn Russell, take a bow, Scotland take a bow. This is going to get interesting. That is really, really good, by the way. It's like really, really good. And Finn Russell, every single time something's good's come around for Scotland, it's been Finn Russell. Popping up to McInally, who spins away from the tackle really well. A couple of good cleaners, then pick up and go from Rory Dodge. He gets there nice and quickly. And all of a sudden, with the kick to come. Scotland could be making this game a little bit interesting.
They pumped. So they came here to play. Able to play the game. This is why you want to play these big games. They're up against France making 30 changes on the side that's lost in Murrayfield.
Right, 27 points, 22. It is a 5-point game with 12 points alone.
Second half, they pulled their way back in, but the early try, Dar's try. He drops off.
5-point game. Good take there from Jack Dempsey. And Anton Dupont is off, so that's the full French bench on. Tell you what, I would also take him off, just to protect him. So Maxime Luciu is on. Finn Russell lifts it into the air. Ramos really going to the high ball there, but good tackle on him. Gets the ball floated away to Gael Fiku. And James Ritchie, who's worked really hard today, gets there. Ramos in at first receiver, by the way, playing at fly half. That's not the best pass from Thomas Ramos, and it is turnover ball. It's Roy Southern that comes away with it. Horn to Finn Russell. Long pass out wide to Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones goes on the inside. He's a bit of support here to Hugh Jones. Slightly isolated. Jamie Ritchie is there as he has been all day. Finn Russell. Always a little space up there. Bit of space. Good carry there. Solid carry there from Ollie Smith, who's on the park as well. So I think just Josh Bayless that's not on yet. Inside ball there coming to it's coming. Finn Russell wants to chip and chase himself. He sees a bit of space. Good read there. Very, very good read. And they get the offload there to Charles Audubon. To Gabriel Valero. Oh no! That's a brilliant tackle. Carl Stay take a bow. He's still going, though, Valero. He's still going. He's going to go all the way. Oh, that's a phenomenal tackle. Ollie Smith. Goodness me. Well, Finn Russell trying to do something was almost the master of his own undoing, and Ollie Smith is coming with a phenomenal tackle. Carstein, he makes that's a brilliant tackle there, but he needs to complete it. Knows the Lord, picked it, gets it up once again. He's still going, and then out of nowhere, bang from behind from Ollie Smith, dislodges the ball. That is a brilliant tackle, absolutely brilliant. Yes, Ollie Smith has just kept him in the game there. Scotland need this how they play with Wrestle, whatever, get that ball, beats his play. They want to lose the sides, been just a little bit more precise, a little strange, that one shooting at the beginning of the first half, let them in, then the ball goes to Vandermeer, yes, it's going to be comfortable, little things like that. This professional game, and we'll see in the World Cup, I think, one decision, one drop ball. So it'll be a scrum when they do return. There's a bit of break and play here. Big scrum this year for it's very interesting trying to sort of work out exactly how France backline is looking here. Because Sekou Makalou is at the back there in the 8th man position. He supposedly replaced Jonathan Dante, so who's in the backline here? Hugh Jones coming on the inside. But I'm not looking to kick it yet. Deep kick in there now. Red scrum cap to red scrum cap. And Valera. Touches the core straight into Ollie Smith. He goes to that left boot of his. There's nobody back there. Really good covering there from Villa. He hammers it back towards Scotland. And Finn Russell, looking at options, is hammered in the tackle, but he gets the offload away, as he always seems to do. Scotland really on the front foot here. They're not giving up without a fight chip. That's really good from Scotland. Blake Kinghorn getting further down the park. And Horn now putting it in behind for Carl Spain. He's going to stay inside. Stein is over. Scotland are level. What a try. What a try. And Horn take a bow. Goodness me. Little something out of nothing. Carl Stein with a second. Pretty good game when your winger scored 3 of the tries, isn't it? But hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It is not over yet. Great finish. Absolutely. Just stays just in. One hand just grabs it. That's really good work from Horn here. It's the inch perfect pick. Absolutely inch perfect. That's a brilliant. I mean, it's a huge kick now. The scores are level. And this is not an easy kick at all for Finn Russell. Big conversion this from Finn Russell. Huge conversion. Come on, Finn. Come on, Finn. That's looking pretty good just on the left-hand side. 27 all. I don't think too many of us predicted a draw. Right, and Scotland are really trying to get it nice and deep. I think they'll settle for a draw. To be honest, what a comeback it would be after that little blitz. Great kick, absolutely brilliant kick. Really good chase as well, but good work in the end. And Blake King will not send this down. Yeah, Scotland playing the possession or the territory game. Yeah, hammering it down for Thomas Ramos to retreat. That is a phenomenal kick from Thomas Ramos. He's just gained 50 meters from that kick, by the way. And pegs Scotland all the way back into their own half. That is absolutely sensational from him. This has been one of the best games I've watched in a while. This has been the best game I think I've watched probably since the Six Nations. But this is a serious warning sign to the likes of the Box and Ireland that Scotland will not to be taken lightly at all. Right, big pressure line at this for Scotland. Scores level with less than 5 minutes to play. And they've stolen it. They have stolen it. Looking out. Damon Penno getting the ball away to Gavin Villiers. Desperate defence this all of a sudden from Scotland. Looking out. That's a huge hit. I think it's turnover ball. Not got advantage here for Scotland. Now back towards Finn Russell. It's a dreadful, dreadful pass. And Finn Russell's under a lot of pressure here. Oh, jeepers me. We'll go back for the penalty advantage. But what a pass that was. Shaped up the kick and then just threw it back on the inside. Just having far too much fun. Far, far, far too much fun is Finn Russell.
inside, and he's saying, right, I'm not with that. Invariably, there's a lock on. I actually think the draw would be a fair reflection for
Yeah, it's an interesting point the commenters are making, saying that given this how the game's gone, a draw would probably be a fair result, which it probably would be, but draws are boring. I want a last-minute winner. I want Finn Russell just to just cap it off. Right, 3.5 minutes to go. 17 points down, as Scotland were. After being 7 points up, I think they were actually 10 points up at a stage. No, they're 7 points up, then 17 points down, and now a level. I mean, there's a couple of things about Scotland. First of all, it's showing that they can start well and they can really get up to a flyer. But more importantly, I think the character shows that they didn't panic when they went down 17 points, and they've clawed their way back through some just genuine world-class rugby. Oh dear, no, no, no. A penalty for France in front of the Poles. Oh, that should be it. Could be it. Still time, but that... Oh, no way. That's going to be such a horrible way for this match to be decided. And it's right in front of the Poles as well. Sebastian Javin can't believe it. Oh no, Thomas Ramos is waiting for his kicking tee. It's right in front. He's too good to miss. He's far too good to miss. He hasn't missed so much Thomas Ramos. He's a world-class goal kicker. Absolutely world-class. So I don't expect him to miss this with 2.5 minutes to go. 1.5 minutes to go. 90 seconds to go, actually. Right in front. Right in front. Is this going to be a heartbreak for Scotland? It's going straight down the middle. He turns immediately, and France, with less than 9 seconds on the clock, take the lead once again. Oh, they won it back of Scotland. They're not done yet. Finn Russell comes away with it. Can they yet conjure up something, Scotland? What a game this has been. Absolutely brilliant. Couple of wraparounds here. Finn Russell firing into Sebastian Chivin. Good work there from Hugh Jones up to the halfway line. To Cummins now. Ollie Smith getting involved. Tackle off the ball. Penalty advantage for Scotland. Is this kickable? Still penalty advantage. I'll tell you what, Finn Russell has been phenomenal, but it's not been without sacrifice. Oh, yellow card now to France. And Charles Willevody has stayed down after that. times off, and that always Sutherland stayed down. That's not a good look either. So they're saying just pitch the penalty kick. I'm pretty sure he showed a yellow. He says when Hugh Jones played for the Stormers, we should have poached him for the box. Jamarcus says, that's my opinion, mate. Scots were lucky in the first half, had Berry off kilter. They got hammered, eh? They got absolutely hammered in that period. For seeing a lot of penalties and stuff like that. They got the yellow card. I don't know. Les Guts says, disappointing ending. France's first game against Kiwi is going to be intense, 100%. French players look dejected. Well, I think, one stage they were just looking so comfortable, and the fact that they've thrown it away potentially is huge. So this is not kickable. Always Southern looks like he's in a lot of... I tell you, he almost looks in tears. And that usually is not usually probably from the injury. It's probably more from... Tell you what, Scale Fiku... he's hammered him from behind. This could be a rib injury, and I think that's where you look at emotions there on Norway Sutherland's head. I think he's now worried about his World Cup. He's getting up, though. Right, so Scotland have got a penalty.
Rugby World Cup 2023. Roster of games for us all to look forward to.
Big kick this now for Finn Russell. Yeah, I think that's a yellow card. I think that's pretty irresponsible, to be honest. Hammering a player with his back turned. Right, so I think this is outside of Finn Russell's range. So I think he's going to have to go for the corner here. Which does mean that they'll be going for the win. Will Scotland. Just outside 22. Lots of work here. We're into at a time here, so no mistakes. Can be no mistakes. But could you imagine? Imagine that France brought in all their big guns, and Scotland go, thank you very much. We don't really care. Bang, back-to-back wins against France. It'll be unbelievable for Scotland. I think regardless, I think they've just thrown out a huge warning to a lot of teams to say that they are not to be messed with. France go up, but Scotland do bring it down. No, it's knocked on. It's knocked on. That's the game. Oh, that's heartbreaking for Scotland. What a game, though. What an absolute corker of a game. Well, people, what an evening of rugby. In terms of games of massive contrast, it was a bit of a disaster class in the first game. Just not particularly good standards, and this game was just had everything. It had the skill set, it had the determination, it had every twist you could probably imagine. If the World Cup games could get half of this sort of intensity, then we're in for a great World Cup. If this is a taste of what we're going to see, we're in for a hell of a few months. Final score is France 30-27. Heartbreak for Scotland, who really deserved more. Finn Russell, absolutely sensational. A couple of big games there from the Scottish lads. A couple of big games from the French lads. Gregory Aldred, Antoine Dupont. The big boys really standing up. But a couple of concerns as well. Man Intermac, Cyril Bai, Jonathan Dante all off injured. People, thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, let's try and see if we can at least get ourselves close to 36,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there before next weekend. And I will see you guys on Monday with some more news live streams. And we'll be back with the watch-alongs next weekend with the box art back in action. So looking forward to that.